One thing a lot of people have been talking about this year is the issue of the hype cycle, of how quickly bands rise to popularity or become indie famous, if you will, and then how quickly another band rises to take their place before that first band even really has a chance to develop and figure out their identity as musicians. That is a pretty big issue, and it's been a problem over the last couple years. It's not new to this year. A lot of people look back at a band like Tapes and Tapes or Clap Your Hands Say Yeah, both of whom put out perfectly good debut records, which got praised to high heavens, and a lot of people couldn't even really figure out why. We've sort of reached this era of large-scale groupthink, where once one well-respected outlet gets behind a band, everyone else kind of jumps on to praise them. And in a sense, you can totally see why that is. Writing about indie rock is now a much more lucrative business than it's ever been in the past. If you write a blog and you're one of the first to get behind a band and that band then becomes hugely popular, then your name is forever associated with that band's popularity. And in a sense, you seem right, which I think is one of the great reasons that indie rock has ballooned in popularity, and also one of the big problems with the culture right now is that people aren't concerned with knowing a lot of bands so much as they're concerned with knowing the right bands. And there is a small to large, depending on who you ask, cabal of people who really are deciding which bands are right and which bands are wrong. Also, the people who are listening are concerned with other people's opinions of which bands are right and which bands are wrong, which has always been the case to some extent, but never on the scale that it's true now. It used to be that if you got 10 indie rock fans in a room, they would all like different bands. They'd have different opinions on band A, band B, band C. Nowadays, liking indie rock, being an indie rock fan, largely means liking the same 5 or 10 bands that it's been decided are the best bands in the culture right now. That's a problem. I don't think that's really conducive to having a music scene where there are lots of different artists trying different things, experimenting, and feeling free to develop their art in a way that involves taking risks. A lot of bands that are becoming popular now have been criticized for playing it safe, but I don't really see how you can blame them for that, because if you don't play it safe, I think it becomes much, much harder for you to reach the point where people are paying any attention to you at all.